evening we are doing series 3 of 5 for sales training, communication hacking, where we teach neuro-linguistic programming for improving your closing rates and for your communication skills. So I'm really excited about everybody being here. Hello everybody on Facebook Live. We're going to get started. Tonight is profiling prospects. This is using the DISC profile, which is D-I-S-C. And you can do a free DISC profile by going to Tony Robbins' website and doing your own free DISC profile. If you don't want to pay for it, you don't have to get the full extended version. You can just get the free version, and you can contact me directly, and I'm more than happy to let you know what that means. And you'll probably get a lot of great information just this evening, just focusing on what we revealed here, what the DISC profiles mean this evening. But we'll be doing profiling, and then the second thing we're going to be doing is value elicitation, which means finding out what people value in life. And that is more important than most sales trainers will try to get you to determine really early on if you're selling insurance or if you're selling real estate, if you're selling a car. Most sales trainers will try to get you to get from them what are the must-haves. What must you have from a car? What must you have from a house? What must you have from insurance? But I have found that the best way to close them on any product is to find out what they most want out of life. So then you'll actually get down to the meat of what their values are and how they make decisions day to day, what drives them, why they choose to do certain things. Okay? So let's get right into this. We're really excited about this evening. Okay, so the first thing that we always want to do in every workshop is we want to set a positive emotional and mental state. Okay? So I want you right now to consider a time in your life whenever you were very, very proud of yourself. Whenever you accomplished something that you just felt like, man, if I could just do everything in my life exactly like that, my life would be absolutely perfect. I would be able to conquer every obstacle. I would be able to close every sale. Whatever it is in your life, it doesn't matter if you finished a race first place, or if you graduated from college, if you aced an exam, you baked the perfect birthday cake, or if you cooked the perfect dinner for your family and everybody told you how amazing it was. I don't care what it is for you, but right now I want you to focus on that moment. And I want you to connect with it. Go right back there in time. Just think about being there for just a second. Are you there?
Yep.
Perfect. Now that you're there, I want you to ask yourself, on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 is like I don't feel it at all. 10 is like I really feel like it. Like I can do anything. Where are you at?
7.
About a 7. Okay, perfect. So about 7, a lot of people say that they're, some people are like, dude, I'm like at a 2. I can't even connect to that. But a 7 is fantastic. I want you to just see if you can increase that feeling. From a 7, take it to an 8. Are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Now, the reason that we do that is because the minute that you begin to do that, your brain starts to release all of those chemicals that you had whenever you felt like you could accomplish anything. Okay? And you connect back to that state. What it does is it enables you to be able to learn anything. It enables you to be able to accomplish anything that you set your mind to do. Because now you're going from a place of, I can do this. I can learn this. I can believe this. I can accomplish this. Okay? And one thing that inhibits people is if they approach something and they feel like they're already stupid, they're already not good enough, anything like that, then they won't accomplish a goal. But we want to set you up to win. So we want you first to connect with that inner champion and that voice that says you can do it. Okay? All right, perfect. So that's the first thing I always do in all of my seminars. And then I always teach the 4 stages of the learning process. The first stage is unconscious incompetence, which means we don't know what we don't know. If you've never ever learned a subject, if you've never ever thought about it, if nobody's ever taught it to you, you can't know about it. We don't know what we don't know. I mean, anybody who's ever had a kid knows they don't know what they don't know, right? So that's where we start. If this is the first time you're learning about these things, this stuff, you're not going to know anything about it. So don't beat yourself up if that's where you're starting, okay? The next stage is conscious incompetence. Now, I know about it, but If I just now learned about it, am I any good at it?
No.
Probably not. You know, it's going to take some practice. It's going to take some effort. I'm going to have to utilize this. I'm going to have to do some exercises. I'm going to have to practice my skills. I know about it, but I want to get good, right? So then we go to conscious competence. That's whenever you're starting to really feel pretty good about it. You know, like when you were first starting to drive a car,
Right.
and like now you're not really having to think about it too much. I mean, you're still focusing on my hands are in the right place, and I'm braking early enough to where I'm not going to slam into the car in front of me. I'm turning on my blinker at all the right times, and but you're still having to think about it. You know, you're not even really that comfortable with going and taking somebody else's car. You're just comfortable in your car. Like I'm pretty good at this, but I don't want to go outside of like what I know. Well, now though, I could give you my keys. I could take my keys wherever they are. I could take my keys, I could hand them to you, I could say, my car's right out there, could you move it for me? No problem, right? You don't care. You could take my car, and you could be doing your makeup, you could be drinking a cup of coffee, eating, and going down the street, and probably you'd be fine. I wouldn't encourage that. I wouldn't tell you to. But you could do it if you wanted to. And that's the place of unconscious competence. That's whenever I've mastered this. I have no concern. I can do this. I can do it in my sleep. I don't even have to think about it, right? Now, that's where most of our negative and positive emotional states are, actually. So, like, do you have to think about how to be happy? No, it just happens, right? You're just there. Your brain already knows how to be happy. Do you have to think about how to be sad?
No.
No, it's just when something makes you sad, you're just sad.
Right.
So, our emotions are already mastery. We mastered our emotions. We know how to feel what we feel. Well, we want the things that we learn to get to that place to where it's just automatic. I walk into a sales situation, I already know what to do. It's mastery. I don't even have to think about it. It's just natural. I just know. Okay? Exactly. So that's what this is about, is that we're going to go through these 4 stages, and whenever we're dealing with this new concept, don't get upset if you're not already at the mastery level. You're not supposed to be. Okay? You're somewhere in these 4 stages, and we're working toward being a master at our craft, which is sales. All right? So that's what we want to focus on. All right. So let's talk about frames of reference. Frames of reference are a set of criteria or stated values in relation to which measurement or judgments can be made. Language is comprised of an infinite number of variables. Like, language can go any which direction. There's no limit to our language, right? They can be used to establish frames of reference. However, much like ternary, I don't know if you do mathematics, but like there's an X, Y, Z axis in calculus where you set up like this big L triangle. And then that's how we determine where something is in that little triangle shape. Okay? So we have to set that up first in language too. Well, our senses help us to do that. Like, what does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? How does it make you feel? Those are all ways of really getting a good idea of what somebody's talking about. Okay? So what are sensory modalities? Any relatively independent sensory systems such as vision, hearing, smell, taste, touch. Those are the traditional 5 senses, right? They were discovered by Aristotle about 384 to 322 BC. And the purpose of defining these terms, like touch, taste, smell, all that, is by establishing these linguistic frames of reference, we can better assess the differences in communication styles. So some people they're visual.
Right.
Some people are auditory, they speak in sounds. And some people are feelings people, they talk about their feelings all the time. Other people are internal dialogue, they talk about data, information, calculations, all that type of stuff. But whenever you're talking with a client, an acquaintance, or even your friends, the best way to communicate is the way they communicate. Whether if they're visual and they want to see imagery and they want to see diagrams and they want you to map it out in colors and pictures, if that's how they are, then that's how you want to talk to them. If they're more into sounds and the way it sounds, if it sounds good to them and it really has a lot of depth to the sound and it really makes them think because they're talking about it, and the more you talk about it, the more it sounds good to them, and they hear you, and they think that you're hearing them and listening to them. If they're sounds people, that's how you want to communicate to them. So you want to communicate to your clients, your friends, everybody that you meet according to their language style. Okay? So that's why we set up these linguistic frames of reference. Now, This is just preliminary here.
Okay.
Okay, so page 2, section 1. Why should we learn to profile and understand the language of others? It's an excellent question. Whenever you look at Machiavellian psychology, that suggests that if you profile the people around you, if you can really quickly identify what type of profile they are, you'll be less inclined to be involved in personal conflicts. So if you can determine what type of person they are, it's less likely you're going to get into a fight with them or with others. Okay? Personal effectiveness is a common subject in professional development, and understanding your own preferences can help you to increase your productivity, engagement, and ultimately your personal and professional development. So we also want to identify our own profile. Okay, so if you know your own profile, it helps you to determine what it is you need in your life in order for you to have good relationships, in order for you to have good communication with others. So knowing your own is the most important, right?
Yes.
Using profiling tools can help supervisors, parents, and teachers to gain a mutual understanding and respect for their team. By knowing how others tick, how they work best, and how they interact with others, leadership can develop more efficient strategies for leadership, goal setting, problem solving, and giving feedback. So if you understand your team and how they think and what type of people they are, it's most likely that you're going to help them be able to be the best at who they are.
Right.
And finally, understanding personality types and preferences can help a sales team to provide a better service, connect with their customers, evaluate their own effectiveness, make better first impressions and stronger rapport by quickly identifying how much information the prospect needs or how little they need, and how likely they are to be approached, resulting in improved customer service experience. Okay? So that's the purpose of why we're understanding the language of others and why we want to profile others. Okay, here's the 3 steps that we're going to do tonight. All right? These are the only 3 things we're going to learn. Number 1, these are the keys to success this evening. Number 1 is we're going to discuss and uncover the 4 profiling models of the DISC profile. Okay? That's D-I-S-C. And I know some people here are familiar with it, some people aren't, but we're still going to work through that. The second thing we're going to do is I'm going to help you develop a binary model to help you determine their profile. So really quickly, you're going to have a way of going, are they this or this? Are they this or this? Okay, so you're going to put them in 1 of 2 categories really fast so that you're able to determine whether they're a D, an I, an S, or a C. And that's going to make a whole lot more sense once we get into this, okay? And then finally, we're going to learn how about value elicitation. So I'm going to teach you how to tune your ears and how to extract from another person what their values are out of life. Not what their values are in a car, not what their values are in a house, not what their values are in insurance and the type of insurance they want. You're going to actually learn what do they value in this world, just existing out of life. What do they value? And I'm going to teach you how to get to that really quick. Okay? Awesome. All right. So let's get started with the DISC profile. All right. So we've got 4 different types of profiles within the DISC. Okay? And once again, I highly encourage anybody who wants to go to the Tony Robbins website. This is a free assessment. It takes about 20 minutes. You answer, and there's no wrong answers, but at the end of it, it will generate a report so that you are fully aware of where you fit in the DISC profile. And most of the time, people have 2 predominant areas that they fit into pretty well. And then after that, they have 2 that are kind of their subsets. We also have areas of the DISC profile where whenever we're uncomfortable, we default to other areas than whenever we're comfortable. Okay? So the first is the D. They're decisive. That's what the D stands for. This is in reference to problems, okay? This is how one tends to approach problems or makes decisions. Okay? They're very decisive. Just answer. Boom. That makes them feel very alive. It makes them feel like they just did something great. Even if they make the wrong decision, they're okay with it because they can make a different decision tomorrow. Okay? Interactive people. These are people. They love people. This is how they interact with or share opinions. They're opinionated. They want to talk. They want you to talk. They want to hang out. They want lots of people around. They want lots of opinions, okay? So these are people, interactive people. Stabilizers. This is kind of in reference to your pace, okay? This is how one tends to pace things within their environment. They love stability. They love security. They want to make sure that everything is safe. Very, very safe. Lots of S words. Stability, security, safety. That matters to an S person, okay? The C's are cautious. Sometimes I call them critical. And I'm a C, so I'm not even bagging on myself. Okay? So this is in reference to procedures. This is one's preference for established protocol and standards. I love the scientific method. I love things to be very critically examined. I want them to make sense. I want you to prove it to me. Give me evidence, or else I'm not buying it.
Right.
Okay? So these are C people, okay? So we've got decisive, interactive, stabilizing, and cautious, and that spells DISC. And you already, I saw you writing already, you have that the top portion is fast and outgoing, the bottom is deliberate and reserved. On our left side we have details and results oriented, and on the right side we have people and processes. Now that comes into play whenever we talk about putting people into binary camps. We're either one or the other.
Right.
Okay? So, let's go ahead and go into that and how that works. Alright. What matters most to a high D? Somebody who's very, very much a decisive person.
Give me the information quick.
I want the results.
Yes.
How's this going to benefit me?
Yes.
How do I get, right now, bottom line, tell me how this works. How does this benefit me? What do I have to do to buy it? How much is it going to cost me? How much money is it going to make me? Right now. Don't waste my time. I don't want your charts. I don't want your graphs. I don't want your sales pitch. Tell me how you're going to impact my bottom line. Tell me how you're going to get your results. All right? Now, what makes them feel drained? What makes them feel like, what's going to make them hate somebody?
Talking too much.
Wasting my time. Wasting my time. I don't want to hang out. I don't want to hear about your best friend, what they just did. You're wasting my time. Let's get to it. Let's make a decision. Let's go. Right? Interactive people. What matters most to them?
They want to be able to socialize, talk to people.
Yeah, let's have some fun. Yeah, talk about what you're doing. I want to know what you're into. What's your hobby? Yeah, interactive people. Let's have some fun, right? And what drains them? What do they hate?
Giving them data, giving them information.
Oh my God. Please don't give me data. Please don't show me a chart. I don't want to see your calculations. No, I don't want to know how much you did last year. No, none of that. I want to see how's this going to be fun for me. I want to have fun, right? Stabilizers, safety people, security. What matters most?
Safety.
Safety, yeah. How's this going to keep me safe? How's this going to make sure I have a job in 20 years? How are you going to secure my future?
Right.
I want to make sure I don't go bankrupt. How are you going to do that?
I don't want to feel insecure. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so what matters most? What do they have to do business with you? What do you have to build between the two of you?
You have to assure them that the job is going to be guaranteed. Basically.
Absolutely. So they have to trust you.
Yes.
Trust. If I don't trust you, you can forget it, pal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing business with you. I have to trust you, right? They have to know that they can trust you. So what drains them? What makes them feel like, absolutely not, I'm done, red light, nope, we're done.
They don't want to change.
Yeah, don't change anything. Also, what if I tell them you have to make a decision today?
They feel pressured.
Pressured, and do I trust you if you pressure me?
No.
Hell no. Hell no. So they want to trust you, and if you make them feel rushed, if you make them feel pressured, if you make them feel like change is coming, and it's going to be a lot of change. You're going to have to change everything you do. Your chair's going to change, your house is going to change, your car's going to change.
That's chaos.
That's chaos. They're like, no, absolutely not, right? So they're going to put on the brakes. What about cautious people? What matters most to a high C?
They want all the information that they can get.
Absolutely. You give me the data, you give me the facts, let me look it over. Let's analyze this. I want to know how these facts relate to my life. How can you prove this? Is this evidence? Can I talk to somebody that you've done this for?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So these are facts and data people. What drains them?
Giving them false information.
Yeah, what they think is false information. If it doesn't have facts and you tell them, last year I tripled 3 guys' incomes in less than 20 days.
Show them.
Okay, where are these 3 guys?
Mm-hmm.
Let me talk to them. And I also want to see their bank account. Don't just give me their testimony. I want to see the facts.
Right.
Let me see their bank account, right?
Mhm.
So if you start telling them fish stories, I caught a fish and it was this big, okay, I'm not going fishing with you.
Right.
Yeah,
Pictures.
exactly. I want to see a picture, I want to see how much it weighed, I want a ruler, everything like that.
Mhm.
Anecdotes, people that talk about the stories of how they've done this and how they've done that, they don't care. And also, what else drains them? Fun. They don't want to have fun.
Right.
They're not here to have fun. They're here to do a job. They're here to make sure that that job gets done right. And they want data to back it up that they can say, I did my job right. I did everything that I was supposed to do. Right? So this is DISC. Now, what we have here is 4 different categories. And what I want you to do is just out of all 4 categories, I want you to take the word that stands out to you. That's me. Okay? And this is on page, for you, this is going to be on page
4.
Page 4, correct. And what I want you to do is I just want you to circle in each column the one that you think is most like you. And you guys that are watching on Facebook Live, if you want to do the same thing, do the same thing. Circle what is most like you.
On the best one, I'm stuck with 2.
That's okay. Circle them both.
Okay.
Okay, so what's cool about that is that even without taking the DISC profile test, whatever you circled, if you're higher on the column, that's midway or above, that's most likely what you are. That's one of your categories. So which category, which column did you have the highest up in?
In the C.
The C. Okay, where was it?
Perfectionist.
Perfectionist. Okay, so you were right in here, right? What was the next highest?
The I in inspiring.
Okay, inspiring. So perfectionist and inspiring. What was the lowest?
The S, outgoing. But that's really
Outgoing. Okay. S, outgoing. Okay. What else was the lowest?
They were kind of tied indecisive, determined, and then cautious, analytical.
Okay, perfect. Cautious, analytical. So you're a high C, high I, with a little bit of
D.
D. Yeah, but your S is probably really low,
Mhm.
right? Okay, so see, that's just you doing a self-assessment without even taking the test. You were able from this column to kind of determine, what you kind of were, right?
Mhm.
I'm also a CI, just so you know.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. All right. So that kind of lets you know where you're at. Now, this is our binary system, okay? And I call it a binary system because you've got 2 questions each direction. Right?
Right.
You got 2 questions each direction. So, the first question is, whenever you think about this person, now if you have access to somebody who knows this person really well, they're the best ones to ask. They're like, just ask them before you even go into the meeting. Okay? But if you don't have access to somebody, then I want you to do your best to think about that person in real time and start to think about them and ask yourself, is this person fast and outgoing? Okay? Is this person fast and outgoing? Or are they deliberate and reserved? Okay? If they're fast and outgoing, you already know you're at the top, you're up here. Okay? If they're fast and outgoing, they're either in the D or the I camp. But if you think about them and they're more deliberate and reserved, they're going to be down here. So that's a binary system. They're either on the top or they're on the bottom. Are they fast and outgoing or are they deliberate and reserved? And you can ask yourself in real time, I know this person. Do they seem to me like in general that they're fast and outgoing, or do they seem more like they're deliberate and reserved? That's your first binary question. So you've already put them in a camp. They're either on the top or they're on the bottom. They're either a D or an I, or they're an S or a C. If the audience is more in the first camp, identify whether they tend to be more results-driven or more people-focused, okay? So, are they people and processes? Or results and detail? Okay? So now that you've already determined they're either a D or an I, or they're an S or a C. They're fast and outgoing, or they're deliberate and reserved. Now I'm going to ask the next question. Okay, so are they more people and processes, or are they more results and detail oriented? That'll let me know whether they're, okay, if they're results and detail oriented, and I already determined they were either a D or an I, then they're a D. Okay? If I find out that they're more deliberate and reserved, but they were fast and outgoing, but they're more deliberate, or I'm sorry, they were fast and outgoing, but they're more results and detail oriented, that's a D. If I find out they're more fast and outgoing, but they're more, if I found out they were fast and outgoing, but they're more people and processes oriented, that's an I. If I already established that they're more deliberate and reserved, I'm sorry, but they're more deliberate and reserved. This person, man, they're just deliberate and reserved. Okay, but are they more people and processes, or are they more results-driven and detailed? Well, I'll be honest with you, they care more about people and processes. Okay, well, if they're deliberate and reserved and they care more about people and processes, they're an S. If I think to myself, okay, they're very deliberate and reserved. These people are super deliberate, super reserved. But they're also very results and detail driven. That's your C. So this is a way of binary putting them either in the top or the bottom camp, and then after you've got them in the top or the bottom, then you find out if they're on the left or the right. It's the fast way of determining what's going to drive them and the easiest way to profile their inherent ways of making decisions, how they like procedures to be done, whether or not they want to be around people, whether or not they want to have fun. This is the fastest way to get there. Super fast, super quick, binary system. All right, now the next thing that we're going to go into, do you have any questions about that so far?
No.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Just doing my last one.
Yep, no problem. Take your time.
Okay.
That's what this is for. All right, so now we're going to get into value elicitation. Like I said, the biggest mistake that sales teams and salespeople make that I've seen is that they do a really good job of understanding that you want to identify exactly what the person wants. You want to do a good job of getting them what they want. But if people are car salesmen, they start off going, what's the one thing you got to have? Is it a convertible? Is it a sunroof? Does it have to be a car? Does it need to be an SUV? Does it have to be a pickup truck? You've already messed up.
Mm-hmm.
What I tell people is, you want to first start to identify their values. Now, if they come out on the lot and they say, I want a truck, I'm not going to then automatically be like, are you sure you want a truck? Maybe we should figure out first what your value system is. I'm going to do it more organically. If they come out on my lot and they say, I'm here to look at pickup trucks, I'm going to go, awesome, man. Very cool. I'm sure you already have an idea of what kind of truck you're into, so do you already know? I'm going to let them kind of let me know. My next few questions while I'm listening to them talk about their truck are going to be very cool. Hey man, just out of curiosity, I know this is going to sound crazy, but what do you value most in life? Like, just what's most important to you? Because I have people tell me that spirituality is the most important to them, family is the most important. If you had to say what it was, what's the most important thing to you?
Family.
Family, right? Okay. Family. That's fantastic. Okay. So our values determine what drive us toward certain behaviors or away from certain behaviors. Okay? So it's best to map out a binary map of what values someone is driven toward and what values they run away from. You want to know what they never want to be around and what they're driven toward. Okay? Now, most sales professionals begin with the wrong questions like what's most important in a car, what's most important in insurance, and they don't focus on their values in life. Okay? And focusing on their life values will help them actually prioritize what they actually want instead of what they think they want. Because every once in a while somebody will think they want a convertible, but in reality they're family people, and so a convertible isn't really going to work with 7 people in their family. Okay? So there's 4 stages to value mapping. And the first one is we're going to elicit. What is most important to you in life? What do you value most? Okay? And what I do is I put, this is what they go toward. So I'll even pull out a piece of paper and I'll draw 2 columns on it. And I'll write, this is what they go toward, and this is what they run away from. Value systems. What do they go toward and what do they go away from? After I get a list of the things that matter most in life to them, then I rank them. Okay? Once they finish telling me what's most important, then I rank them. The next thing I do is I utilize them. Now, if we're applying these things that you've told me are most important, let's play this out day to day. And I start to utilize them. And then finally, I'm going to map out their meaning. What does that mean to you? Because I don't know if you've ever done this demonstration with me in one of my workshops, but if I say the word duck, what comes, what
Duck, or what did you say?
Duck. What pops in your head immediately?
I don't know.
What's that?
You said ducks, D-U-C-K?
Duck. What pops in your head?
Yeah, like some type of bird.
Okay, what type of bird? What immediately comes to your head?
Duck?
Yeah, what does it look like?
Big old flat.
Flat bill? What color is the bill?
Yellow.
Yellow bill? What color is the duck?
White.
It's a white duck with a yellow bill.
Yeah.
Is it a cartoon duck or a real duck?
Real one.
It's a real one. Are you seeing it, or is it like a movie or a picture?
No, I'm seeing it.
You're seeing it. Like, are you looking at it like it's on a pond or like it's on grass or what?
On the grass walking.
It's on the grass walking, and you see it walking.
Yes.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Is it going quack, 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 quack?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So, this may sound crazy to you, but I've done this workshop with hundreds of people. And every time I ask somebody, it's a different duck. Everybody sees a different duck. So whenever I start to find out what it means to you, whenever you say family, that's going to mean something different to you than it means to everybody else. So we got to know, what does that mean to you? And that's how we start to really connect with the other person. Once we find out what they value most in life, what's most important to them, then we can start to map out what that means to them. Okay? So let's go through these 4 steps, and I'm going to go ahead and do this with you real quick, okay? So the first question is, on elicitation, what's most important to you in life? So you said family, what else? What's the next most important thing to you?
My career.
Your career?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. What matters most next?
Security.
Security. What else? It's very important to write exactly what they say. Not try to come up with your own words for what that means to you. You write down exactly what they tell you.
Money.
Money, perfect. What else?
My home.
Home, love it. What's next?
My vehicles.
Vehicles. What matters most in this world? What is most important to you?
Achievements.
Achievements, great. What's next?
Well, I'm really strong on respect.
Respect, love it. What's next?
Having fun.
Having fun? What else? What emotions do you want to feel every day?
Happiness.
Happiness, right? What else? What other emotions are important to you to feel? What's most important for you to feel?
Peace.
Peace, right? Absolutely. What else?
Communication.
Communication. What else? What's most important to you?
I didn't make a mistake.
So good.
My friends.
Friends, right? Of course, friends. What else is important to you? The most important thing in this world.
My faith.
Faith, perfect. What else?
Helping others.
Helping others, right? What else?
Leaving a legacy.
Leaving a legacy. I love that. Leaving a legacy. What else is important?
Being remembered when you're gone.
Being remembered when you're gone. What else?
Having love.
Having love. What else?
Being able to communicate trust with people.
Okay. Being able to communicate trust. What else?
Travel.
Travel. Love it. What else? No wrong answers.
Health.
Health, right? Absolutely health. What else is important to you? Most important in the world?
My mom.
Mom. Okay. Is that same as family, or is this mom special?
Well, mom's special because family is just my personal family, my
Gotcha.
husband and my
Okay.
kids.
So mom's special. All right. What else?
Yeah, because my dad's gone.
Gotcha.
Nothing, pretty much that's it.
Is that pretty much it?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right. I love this list. Okay. Now, what you'll notice is, and some people may notice this, some people might not. But what happens is we move from this chain from the abstract to the real. Okay, so like abstract things are like spirituality, love, faith, those type of things are abstract. They're not concrete. But if I were to say real would be more like your vehicles. Your vehicles are real. You know, you don't have to imagine them. They're not a concept that we have to talk about and understand what they are. Like you could point at your vehicle and show me what your vehicles are.
Right.
Right? So whenever people are valuing things, what drive us most in life are the abstract working their way down to the real. We're more driven by the abstract, the ideas that we have of things. Okay? Most people that you deal with are going to be most driven by the abstract reality more so than reality. Okay? So now thinking about that, I want you to look at this list, and if you could only have one of them, if you wake up tomorrow and you only get one, which one would it be?
It would be my family.
Family, right? Number one. Let me read the list to you again just to make sure, okay?
Okay.
Tomorrow you wake up and you only get one of these. Family, career, security, money, home, vehicles, achievements, respect, fun, happiness, peace, communication, friends, faith, helping others, leaving a legacy, being remembered when you're gone, having love, being able to communicate, trust with people, travel, health, your mom. Tomorrow you wake up, number one. You only get one.
My health.
Your health, right? So that's number one. You sure?
Those two are important.
Sure.
Health and wealth.
But you have to choose
My health.
your health. Okay. So does that mean that family's number two?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. What's next? Now you may or may not have noticed, but we moved from eliciting to ranking.
Right.
Now I'm ranking them. Okay?
Well, and number three would be my home.
Home. What's next?
Well, I have to have money to pay for the home.
There you go.
And I definitely have to have my career.
Okay. What's next?
And by having a career, I'm gonna have security, so 6.
So your health's most important.
The reason why I choose that is because I've been really through a lot of health problems.
Okay.
That if I didn't have a good health, I would go back to dialysis, and I don't want to go back to that.
Okay, so that's why you
And I
say.
know my family will always be there.
Okay. Your family's not going to go anywhere.
No.
So you're not worried about them going anywhere because you know they'll be.
Yeah.
Okay. So for you, number one priority is health.
Yep.
Okay.
If I'm not healthy, I can't do anything else.
So you're sure?
Yep.
We've got to keep health number one.
Yes.
Health is most important. More important than leaving a legacy?
Well, that's if I'm on my last stroke. Yeah, I would rather that be number one.
Okay.
Only.
But
if
you're not.
that's-
You're just you right now.
Yeah.
When you wake up tomorrow, you only get one thing.
Yeah, my health, because otherwise I can't do anything else after that.
Perfect. Okay, so it's health, and
Yeah.
then family,
Yeah.
and then home,
Yep.
and then money,
Yep.
and then security, or then career.
Oh, you could switch 4 and 5. You could put the career. So
Okay.
I can have money. Yeah,
Okay.
4.
4 here. 5 money.
Yep.
Okay. Security still 6.
Yeah.
What's next?
It would be my vehicle. I need
Okay.
something to drive with.
Perfect. So we're going to stop there for now.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is we've gone through elicitation, and now we've ranked 1 through 7. 7 is normally, sometimes I'll do up to 10. 7 is normally good enough for me to work with. Really, 4, 3 or 4 is good enough for me to work with. But we're going to start with health, okay? And I'm going to ask you, now, health. What does health mean to you?
It's the world.
Right, the world. And whenever you say it means the world, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
That I can't, I'll be struggling if I don't have help.
Okay, so it means the world to you, and if you don't have it, you'll be struggling.
Yeah, or basically die.
You'd be, without it, without health, you'd be dying
Yeah,
and struggling.
yes.
Okay? So what is it, why is it a good thing then? What's so great about it? When you are healthy, whenever you do have health, what's good about it?
I can do all things while I'm healthy.
All things, right?
Yeah.
What types of things?
I can enjoy my family, I can work, I can have fun,
You enjoy family,
work,
you can work,
have fun,
you can have fun,
and I sure can travel.
and you can travel. So travel is important.
Yes,
Enjoying your family is important.
yes,
Working is important.
yes,
Having fun is important.
yes.
Okay,
You only live once.
that's right. So I want you to see this. What happened was, I took the first thing, and what we did was, from the first thing, we found out that your health actually means that with health, we found your tops. Within health, family, career, having fun, travel. These are the things that matter to you. In identifying your first thing, we were able to really get down to the things that matter most to you. Even though this big list, these are the themes. These all came out originally, and then they came out again under just health. Does that make sense?
Right.
And all I did was ask you, what does that mean to you? What are you able to do? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Right.
So now, just in that, now I found out whenever somebody comes in to buy a car, I know in life what matters most to them is their health, that they want to enjoy family, that they want to be able to go to work, they want to be able to have fun, and they want to travel. Now I got to find a vehicle that makes sense to them, that fits within that. Within what is their life, what they want out of life. I got to find the home that's going to help them do that. I got to find the insurance that's going to make them do that. That's going to help them with their health. It's going to help them enjoy their family time. It's going to make them enjoy work and be able to go to work, to be able to have fun in their home, and to be able to have fun with their insurance and know that they're taken care of, and to be able to travel without being worried about what's going to happen to me while I'm traveling. Does that make sense? So now we've done a value elicitation, and then getting to the meaning. Now, the final thing we want to do is I want to ask you, whenever you talk about this, whenever you talk about enjoying your family, when you talk about work, when you talk about having fun, when you talk about travel, what does that look like to you?
I'm not understanding.
When you talk about enjoying your family, what does that look like to you? What does that sound like to you? How does that feel whenever you talk about enjoying your family?
We're laughing, we're having a good time.
Okay? So whenever you're enjoying your family, you're laughing, having a good time. That's like fun, right? Having a good time. What about whenever you're traveling? What does that look like to you? What does that sound like? How does that feel? Same way, right? What else is going on? What do you see in your mind whenever you think about traveling?
Exploring, getting to know new things.
Exploring new things. memories. What else? Making the best, right? Now, whenever I ask you about, like, what do you guys do to have fun? Last time you guys were having fun and you knew it, what was going on? Describe that to me.
Went on vacation to Cancun.
Vacation to Cancun. What was it like?
We got to swim a lot.
Swim? What else?
Enjoy the water park.
Enjoy the water park.
Eat a lot.
Yeah. What type of food do you eat?
Oh, there was so much variety. Italian, French, Chinese, Mexican. What is the one with the guys that are cutting different meats?
Oh, yeah, Brazilian steakhouse.
Yes, that.
Yeah. Love Brazilian steakhouse. Have you been to the one over by the mall?
Yep.
It's nice, right? Yeah. All right. Now let me ask you something. If I were able to find an insurance that made sure that you were able to have more family time, that you were able to have more fun, that you were able to enjoy work more, not worry, make sure that your health was taken care of, make sure that you were able to travel a little bit more, would that be something that you'd be interested in looking at all?
Yes.
It would be, right? What would it mean to you if I could find the perfect fit that would make sure that your health was taken care of, that you could enjoy your family, that you could enjoy your career, you could have fun, and you could travel?
Oh, I would love it.
You would love it, wouldn't you? And that's how you get to determining that now you've uncovered exactly what it is that that person needs to hear, they need to see, and they need to feel to choose your product. Have I showed you any products at all?
No.
No. All I need to do is make them fit that. As long as they fit your core values and what it is that you want out of life most, then that's going to be the right product.
Right, because you're showing that you care about them.
What they care about most in life.
Yep.
Yeah. And so then you just check it back and say, this is the product that I think would work, that would take care of your health, that would make sure that you're not stressed out, that you're enjoying your family. I'm going to make sure that it's within your budget so you're not having to work too much, but your career is going to be solid, so you're not going to be stressed. You'll be able to meet all your quotas and be able to still make money and have fun. Okay? I'm going to make sure that you have extra time with your family. You guys can go have fun as much as you want to. And also, whenever you go to travel, you're not going to have to worry about a thing. If somebody gets injured or whatever, this insurance is going to cover you. You won't have to worry about any expenses, anything like that. You just go, you travel, you go around the world. Does that sound like the right insurance for you?
Yes.
It absolutely does, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's why I say most salespeople get it wrong. They're trying to find the right product. They're trying to say, what product do you want? What does it have to have? What do you want? What do you not want it to have? No. I want to know who you are. What do you want out of life? And I keep asking these questions, so we go through 4 steps. What was step number 1?
Elicitation.
Elicitation. So whenever we elicit, what do?
We'll try to see what's most important to the client.
In life, right? Not out of our product.
Right.
Does your product matter?
No.
No. No.
That's what's going to make you build trust.
That's right. Now you're building trust. Who wants to talk to a salesperson? All they want to talk about is their product.
Nobody.
Nobody. That's right. I don't care about your product. You care about your product. It's your career, not my career. I care about me. I care about my life. I care about what's interesting to me. If they're a high D, do you want to go through this?
No.
No, because what do they want to know?
We want to know the facts.
Results, bottom line. So what would I ask them? What's most important to you in this meeting? What do you want most? first question. Not which product is most important to you, not what cars are you interested in, what do you have to have out of a home, none of that, no. What do you want most out of this meeting? What would you like to accomplish today? What's the most important thing to you?
The facts, so we can get it done and over with.
Boom, a decision maker? Okay, great. What types of facts make you feel like that I'm really listening to you? Like what's most important to you when you talk about facts? Because I could talk to you about how many spots are on a cheetah or, you know, facts like that, and I don't think that you care about that. So which facts do you want to know so I don't waste your time?
How long is it?
How long is it going to be here? How much does it cost?
Yeah.
Perfect, okay. So whenever you think about how much cost is, what's most important to you on cost? Like where are we at?
Between $100 and $200.
Perfect, so $100 and $200, so that's most important. So I got that, $100 and $200. Whenever you talk about $100 and $200, why specifically would $100 and $200 be the most important to you?
Because that's within my budget range.
Okay, and so why whenever you talk about budget range, why do you stick to a budget so closely? What does that help you do in your life?
Be able to provide for my family and yep, be able to provide.
See, I don't have to use my script. I can use just a regular appointment, a regular meeting, and we still get to this.
Right.
See that? Yeah, that's how easy it is. And so we elicit first what's most important to you. Why is that important to you? Why do you want to stick within a budget? What does that help you do? I want to make sure that I'm listening to you. What's most important to you in life? You want to stick within a budget that pertains to your life. So what in your life is so important that we need to stick to this budget? Because I want to know you so that I can work with you. Right? So immediately what I get?
Right.
I got the same thing as whenever I was asking what's the most important to you, even whenever I was going through a sales pitch.
Right.
Right? So then number two, then I start to rank them. So I go through that same process that I just went through with you. Okay, so you want to provide for your family. What else is important to you? What else do you have to worry about day to day? What matters to you in life? Like, what do you value? And then we start going through it again. And then I'm going to ask them, if you had to rank it, tomorrow you woke up and maybe it's family, maybe it's your career, maybe it's your security. What's most important to you? And then we rank it. And then I ask them, what does that mean? When you say family, what does that mean? You know, but if we'd have gotten help, I think your family's more important to you than you have. I really do. I do. I think it is. Because it just keeps coming up. It just keeps coming up. I think your family is most important to you. I think your health is important because it's important to your family. It's
right.
important. You know, it's important for you to keep your family happy.
Right.
Yeah. So then we utilize it. We say, okay, so what does that first value mean to you? What does health mean to you? Right? That's what we went through.
Right.
So that's our utilization. Can you tell me more about that? Okay, this is what I'm hearing. And then you just write it out exactly what they said. This is what I'm hearing you say. What does that help bring about for you? Okay? You start asking those type of questions. And then focus on which activities, ideas, or concepts matter most from the towards column. Okay? If they start telling you what they don't want, you write that over here and you just stay away from it. You just, every time you're like, okay, so we don't want this. So tell me more what you do want. Keep them in the want column. What do they go towards? And then you map out the meaning. Why is this important to you? What would that look like to you? What would that sound like to you? And how would that make you feel? I don't know if you remember me doing that with you.
Yeah.
You remember me doing that? What does that look like? So, when I asked what did it look like? Laughing, having a good time. Laughing is actually a sound, which means you're auditory.
Right.
You're a sound person. Laughing, having a good time, exploring new things, memories, making the best of everything. Vacation in Cancun, you're swimming, enjoying water parks, eating a lot of Italian, French food, Chinese, Mexican, Brazilian steakhouse. All that stuff was all, what would it look like? What would it sound like? How would it feel? Okay? That's it. That's as simple as it is. Going through the 4-step value mapping, and then you're able to connect your product with them. Make sure you're focusing on their sensory modalities. If they're visual people and they're giving you lots of sights, that's going to be these words. Sight, see, imagery, look, map it out, diagram it, paint a picture. It's got to be vivid, high definition, crystal clear, transparent. Anytime they're using words like that, you use those words right back to them. Don't just get stuck with our words in auditory. Like, yeah, I hear you. Listen to me. That sounds great. Let's talk about it. Let's chat. I want to discuss this. I want to interview you more. Let's tune into each other. I heard a rumor. Would you like to remark on that? Do you say that often? Because I hear you clear as a bell. We don't want to get stuck in that. That's our words. Because I'm auditory too, like auditory digital. So I understand that I have a tendency to get stuck there. Don't get stuck there. Make sure, even though you're listening, make sure you're listening and making sure that they're not visual. If they're visual, use visual words. But if they're kinesthetic and they really need to feel you, and they've got an intuition about things, they trust their gut, and they've got a good grasp on stuff, you know, there's a flow here, a flow between us. And I want to hold on to this information. And I'd like to support you. This is really stirring me up a little bit. I'd like to touch base later. I want to reach out tomorrow. This is an emotional subject, and I'm sensitive to what it is, but I don't want to be rushed. Okay? These are all kinesthetic people. So I don't want to rush you. You know what they say, I just don't want to be rushed. They're speaking kinesthetically. Okay? Now, internal dialogue people. These are the high ICs. They're calculating. They're processing things. Yeah, this makes sense. I'm logically, this is making a lot of sense. I'm understanding what you're saying. This criteria is meeting all of the criteria that I typically am aware of. I want to analyze this a little bit more so that I can comprehend it. There are good reasons to continue this conversation. The system that you're showing me seems like a good system. I want to integrate some of this into my life. I'd like to learn a bit more so that I consider it better. And maybe tomorrow we'll realize that this is a good fit. Those are all auditory digital, internal dialogue thinkers. So make sure that you're tuning your ears while you're doing this to write down exactly what they say. And if you start to see come up a lot of certain types of words, like laughing, exploring, that's kinesthetic, having a good time, that's kinesthetic, making the best of things, that's kinesthetic, okay? You're enjoying what you eat, okay? So there's a lot of kinesthetics, yeah? Auditory and kinesthetic, that's you. So I want to speak in those same types of words, okay? Whenever I'm talking back to you, like, how does this make you feel? Like, check your gut and let me know. Is this stirring you? Do you feel like that this is is this making you feel warm? Is this making you feel energized? Do you feel like this is something exciting? See, those are all kinesthetic things. Is this touching you in a way that seems like it's going to be a good fit? Those are all real kinesthetic. If I'm seeing a lot of kinesthetic things, then that's what I'm going to start feeding back to you. All right? Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right, so these systems allow professionals to adopt the visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and internal dialogue changes for communication clarity. If anybody on the video, or if you want to schedule a consult to see, hear, and experience the ways that this might help you or somebody that you love overcome a self-limiting belief, a bad habit, a fear, it might make sense to grab a free transformation experience on my website. You can go to jamespekch.com, and on the home page there's a free transformation experience. It's a little video I take you through, try to help you overcome anything. Just bad habit, smoking, overeating, spending, whatever it is that people have in their lives. I don't care, but that's for free. Or you can send me an email and schedule a 15-minute consult for free as well. And just, if I can help, I'd love to help.